Hello and welcome to Loppy Loves Eco. If you haven't been here before, my name is Lauren and on this channel we talk about sustainability and eco-friendly living on a budget. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different actually. I'm not really going to be talking about sustainability as such, but I am going to be repotting some of my houseplants and sowing some seeds, which can, I guess, kind of link into what my channel is about. A lot of people living eco-friendly lifestyles are into houseplants and gardening and growing your own food as well, which the seeds I will be sowing are some herbs and food. And what inspired this video today is this is my spider plant, which is not looking very happy, and I noticed that it's becoming root bound, which means that it is time to change the pot so that the roots have more space to grow. And this plant hasn't had a very happy life, honestly. I bought this plant almost 2 years ago on the day that I moved into my apartment, which is not this place, this is my boyfriend's apartment that I'm in. And my apartment has almost no natural light, so all of my plants didn't do very well. Most of them died. Somehow this plant survived. There are actually two plants in here, I don't know if you can see. Yeah. But it hasn't had a very happy life at all. It almost died and I thought I lost it, which shocked me because I have grown spider plants for most of my life. Even as a kid I was growing spider plants successfully, and I genuinely thought they were unkillable until I had this one. But I moved it a few months ago into my boyfriend's old bedroom at his dad's house, which has 2 walls of windows, and it started to come back a bit, and a couple of months ago I moved it into this apartment and it's continuing to do well. But a few days ago I noticed it was looking unhappy. It's been fertilised, it's been watered, it hasn't been overwatered, but then I saw the roots coming out the bottom. This also is starting to become slightly root bound. Don't know if you're going to be able to see. It's not as urgent, the roots are only just coming out at the bottom. And this is a baby plant from that one, which is actually looking a lot healthier. The leaves are just greener and more vibrant. Although last week this one was so pale and colourless because it had been at my father-in-law's house for months and hadn't ever been fertilised. I brought it here a few days ago, fertilised it, and it is now vibrant green and lovely. So I'm going to try and repot that one maybe, if I have enough soil. I didn't bring my potting mix here, so I'm just reusing potting mix from plant pots that plants have died in or just aren't being used. Not everyone recommends reusing soil. I usually do, it turns out fine, but don't come at me for reusing the soil. And then this plant I absolutely adore, it's one of my favourites, but I have no idea what this is. I received it in a swap from a lovely woman in Reykjavik. She showed me the mother plant and it has these kind of crinkly leaves rather than these smooth ones, which were the young leaves, and it was tall and kind of had like a wooden trunk, a bit like a mini tree, but she didn't tell me what kind of plant it was. I think maybe it's some kind of ficus, but I really don't know, so if you know, please let me know in the comments because I want to know how to care for this properly. And it's not root bound or anything, but the stem is just a little bit unstable, and so I just want it in a little bit of a deeper pot so that the soil can come a bit higher and stabilise it, and I can also see one root above the soil, so yeah, I just want it in a little bit of a deeper pot. And some other plants that I will see if I get around to repotting them or if I have enough soil to go around. I'll show you them if and when we come to it. And then I also just want to pot some herbs, but I want to put some herbs inside this unit. This is a Tregren T6, and I have had a Tregren T12, which is double the size, it's a huge unit, for a few years, and I love it. And I desperately wanted this, which is the next size down, but I've never seen this brand for sale in Iceland. The one that I got was a Christmas gift, which was brought from Germany. And I happened to see this a couple of months ago on Facebook Marketplace. Someone had listed it a month before, no one had commented on it, and I just asked if it was still available. She said yeah. And I think I paid 8,000 kroner, which is 45-50 quid roughly, which is a lot cheaper than what it was new, and a lot cheaper than importing it and paying the import taxes as well. So I haven't used this unit yet, and my other unit is currently not in use. I have used it a lot in the past, but that's still at my apartment, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bring it over here yet because it is very big. So I just want to put a few herbs in there. I have with me some oregano seeds, basil, dill and wild rocket. This unit is making a lot of loud noises, which I think is why the seller sold it to me. She didn't mention that, but I tried it when I got home. My big T12 unit also makes weird noises. This one makes louder, different noises, but I only turned it on once, so maybe that will vanish the longer it's been used. But I did read that it can be that the water pump has air in it, because it's a self-watering system. You put the water in and it waters the plants. I have never used the self-watering system on my big one, so maybe that is why my big one is making noises, and maybe that's why this one is making noises. I also read that the water pump needs cleaning every so often, so maybe that's the problem with this one. It's just that the pump hasn't been cleaned, because the woman did tell me that she did put the water underneath regularly. Let's start. Okay, I hope you can see properly what I'm doing. I've moved my camera to here, just inside this box. So I discovered just before filming this video that almost all of my pots are the exact same size as what the spider plant is already in. Or I just have one pot which is ridiculously huge and way too big for this. So I think what I'm going to do for now is just split these two plants into separate pots and hope that they'll be a little bit happier temporarily. That's not a permanent solution, but that's just what I'm going to do for now, and hope that that helps the spider plant in the short term, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get any slightly bigger pots anytime soon. So I'm just going to do that and hope that's okay. I know that you shouldn't repot your plants too often, but this is just a temporary solution. So I am going to try and take these out. And yeah, lots of roots. There's some big thick roots here. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to split these two plants if I can. Maybe they're connected and this might go horribly wrong. But we'll see how this goes and hope it goes well. And yes, I do have a tablespoon. I haven't got any trowels. I was going to buy one the other day from the florist across the road and didn't. I will eventually, but a tablespoon works for me at the moment. Oh god. I don't want to damage the roots. I don't want to damage this plant. Oh, fingers crossed I can just kind of chip away at the soil. Just find out which roots belong to which plant. I really hope I can detangle these without damaging anything. Maybe I should have soaked this in water. I don't know. Maybe this needs a soak in water to try and remove some of the soil. I don't really know what to do. That big root appears... Okay! These have both got a thick root on each of them. I hope that they were separated okay. I don't think they were. This might go horribly wrong. Both plants might die, but... Okay, we're going to see how it goes. So here I have some old soil that has perlite in it. and just try and take some out and put this down into the pot. And then try to put the soil around. No, I need to make it a bit deeper. I haven't thought this through very well. This was a very spontaneous decision to repot this plant. I think I saw it yesterday that it was root bound. So not a lot of planning went into this, and this is probably a terrible idea. In fact, this definitely was a terrible idea, but too late now. Committing to it. I'm going to build up the soil a little bit higher to try and stabilise this a little bit. Both plants were a little bit floppy and bending slightly. Okay. That seems pretty secure. Mostly. Maybe not. Maybe a tiny bit more, because when I water it, it will shrink down. This pot is one of my favourites. I rarely buy pots new, but this is one of a few pots that I bought from Tiger, I think last summer, or the summer before maybe. It's ceramic, and it just, I don't know what it is about it, I just love this pattern. The green colour isn't showing up as well on camera, but it's this beautiful shade of like emerald green. And then we have the other one. I need to get some more soil from one of the other pots I have lying around. Oh God, I hope these survive. They might not, and that's okay. I've got the baby plants still. And then grab some from another pot and mix in a little bit of perlite. I have a big bag of perlite, but I just brought some in a jar because I don't have my soil and perlite here in this apartment. Because again, this is not my apartment, this is my boyfriend's. A lot of people seem to think that I am living with my boyfriend. Despite the fact that I keep repeatedly telling them that we don't live together, and it gets quite annoying. So yeah, for the final time, we do not live together. We mostly stay at this apartment, but I do still rent my own apartment, and he owns this place. This one seems a bit floppier and a bit less secure, but the soil in this one is very dry, and the quality seems to be a bit lower in this pot. So after I'm done, I will not fertilise it, because this plant got fertilised last week, but I will water it, and in a couple of weeks make sure to give it some fertiliser to help improve the soil quality, hopefully. I think there used to be an aloe vera in this pot that I bought on the same day as the spider plant, but the aloe vera did not survive my apartment. And also, both of these pots I bought on the day that I moved into my apartment. This one is a light grey colour, but it looks white on camera. This one I just bought because it perfectly fit the spider plant, and this one perfectly fit the aloe vera plant that I bought. So yeah, this can actually go back into the spider plant pot and hope it survives. Okay, so I'm going to try this plant, or this, I'm going to call it a ficus, I really don't know what it is. So I don't really have any pots that are wider than this one, but I don't really need it to be wider, I just needed it to be taller. And this pot is a little bit taller. This was also from Tiger actually. I got two, one in this pink colour and one in green. The pink one has drainage holes on the bottom, but the green one doesn't. So the green one is an outer pot for my snake plant, or mother-in-law's tongue, as I knew it growing up. And I was kind of annoyed that this one has the drainage holes in it, because I just like it as a decorative pot. They're made out of recycled plastic, but I guess that it worked out well that this has the draining holes, because this can have this plant in it. So I'm going to do that now. So I think I'm just going to try and put this straight in. No, that didn't work. The roots are actually very small on this plant, but it is a very healthy plant. It has been growing a lot. I think there were only like 3 or 4 small leaves when I got it a few months ago, and it has been growing really well. So I'm put a little bit of soil in the bottom. There is no perlite in this, so I don't know if it needs it or not. I am tempted to put some in, but the woman who gave it to me didn't have any perlite mixed in the soil. I'll put a little bit in. It doesn't look like a well-draining potting mix that it was in either. Maybe this plant doesn't need it, but I like to add at least a little bit so that I don't overwater the plants, which is difficult for me because my plants usually thrive on neglect. No, I do look after them where possible with the lighting conditions. Even with the big grow light in my apartment, the plants did not do well. There's not a lot of fresh air in my apartment either because the windows are so small, so I'm not sure if that maybe had something to do with it, like air circulation. I don't really know. Oh, well, there we go. Now it doesn't look like there's perlite in this, but there is perlite in the bottom. This top soil was just the soil that was at the bottom of the pot that it came in. Now that is much deeper, and I hope this plant will be a lot happier with the stem buried this much. I can't be sure, but I hope it will be. It's definitely a lot more stable now, and I hope that this pot fits back into the outer. Yeah, that's fine, that's good enough. And yeah, a lot more stable now. Okay, so I don't really have much soil left. I am going to go straight to the seeds now, see how much is left, and possibly do the spider plant babies. I am going to try to split the soil as much as I can between these 4 small pots. This one's terracotta, the rest are plastic. Maybe I can't do that, maybe it will just be 3 pots. Or maybe I'll start with a little bit of soil and I can always add more later, I guess, as it grows, but maybe not. Okay, I'm trying to see how much soil I can get in each one and go from there, see what we plant today. Now, my grow lights are actually designed to be hydroponic systems. Oh, this soil is the soil I hate. Oh, okay. There is an Icelandic brand of potting soil that I used to use, and it is terrible, and this is what this appears to be. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It might not do well in these pots. I thought this was the same soil that I was using in the other ones. Yeah, so it was designed for hydroponics, which means you don't need soil actually. You can just buy the plug plants in like cocoa coir, not really sure how it's pronounced. And yeah, they don't need soil, so it's meant to be like a mess-free solution. You just add nutrient-rich water into the watering section of the pot. But I have never done that. I have always only grown things in there with soil in their own pots. And maybe in the future I will actually try the hydroponics mode on it. I'm trying to take some of these stones out. But I don't know, it's something I'm interested in, but I have no problem with using soil. Some people don't like it, it's too messy, but personally I have no problem with it. My plants were meant to grow in soil, so it seems a bit weird to me to not do that. So I'm going to try a few seeds in each. There's not a lot of soil in all of these, but maybe we can get something started in the grow light at least. If I can open the seed packet, that is. Alright, so this is dill. I don't really have any way to mark these pots. Maybe I do. I have some COVID tests that I've been doing at home quite a lot recently with my boyfriend, because we keep getting sick. And I actually saw a way to turn those COVID tests into plant markers. so I will do that. So I just need to remember which seeds I'm putting in which pot. Is there any left in this? Not many. Okay. Come on, careful. Alright, I'm going to finish the seed packet because it was already open, there wasn't any seeds left in there. So I might as well finish it now, and I can always buy more basil seeds in the future. Oregano, this one hasn't been opened. All of these have expired by the looks of it, yeah. 2019, 2018. I think it's okay. If it doesn't grow, it's not the end of the world. Does anyone else keep seed packets for a really long time? I actually sometimes buy them expired. That rocket was also bought expired in the UK. Is anything coming out of this? I can't really see. I don't think I've ever grown oregano from scratch. Wow, those seeds are tiny. Okay, I'm just going to put all of them in because they're so small. And yeah, wow, they're all stuck in the glue. Yeah. Put them all in because I'm not gonna, because I'll lose them otherwise. And wild rocket. I really hope this one grows. This one probably should have gone in one of the bigger ones, but oh well, too late now. This expired in 2018. Doesn't matter if it doesn't grow. Oh, wow, those seeds are tiny too. Okay, so I'll give those a water and put them in the grow light. Now I have these nutrient packets that came with my Tregren T12, which I never used, so I might use them soon for these, but I am intending to just treat them as normal plants. I'm not doing this as a hydroponic system, so I don't really know if this will work as well. But this is the nutrient for herb and lettuce, and this is for tomatoes, chilies and other fruits. And you can buy these single sachets from Tregren, but I think they are quite expensive. Okay, these pots just about fit into the unit, so it's lucky that I chose those sizes. They just squeeze in there with no room to spare. I'm going to give them a bit of a spray first. I probably should water them a bit deeper, but for now I'm just going to spray them. And how cute is this spray bottle? I do have one of the glass ones, but I wanted another one, and I try to only buy things second-hand if possible, and I happened to see this in the charity shop. And the top is plastic, but this is aluminium, and I've never seen one like this before. I'm going to try to turn this system on and see if it's still as loud as it used to be. I'll put some water in it if it is. Yep, you hear it? Yeah. Hopefully it stops. Okay, it stopped. So my bigger unit makes a slightly different noise, but just as loud, or maybe slightly quieter. I think this one might be louder despite being smaller, but it does stop after a few moments like this did. But then it starts every hour or so. It'll make a weird noise like that. So I'm going to try and clean out the pump system, not straight away, but I will have a look into doing that. And I will fill the bottom with water, just take it out and put the water in the reservoir underneath, and see if that helps solve that problem. And I hope it does, because I don't want this to be annoying Sirion or his neighbours, both upstairs and in the next house. So I'm going to try and fix that. But I'm glad that they all fit in there. I will find space for it in the kitchen in a bit. And I think I just about have enough soil left to do the baby spider plants. Okay, so I have a little bit of a problem. The next size pot I have is this one. It isn't already been used by another plant, and it is considerably bigger than this, and I'm not entirely sure that there is enough soil to go in it, but I am going to try anyway. So I think to do this I'm going to take the spider plant out first, although it has recently been watered, so it's not going to be that easy. Shouldn't do this when it's recently been watered really. Okay, that came out quite well. There's the root system. I'm going to pull it in and then, okay, I'm going to put a bit of soil in first and then put this in and then put a bit more soil on top. Okay, well that's more soil than I planned, but oh well. Okay, try and get this around a little bit and try and get some oil off this box too. I'm in my boyfriend's training room and I'm going to have to vacuum the floor here after I'm done. I've made a bit of a mess. So you can put all in this one. This one here. This is actually a fertilizer called hand deodorant and actually works incredibly well. It's my main fertilizer I use. The main fertilizer is this one, which is an Icelandic liquid fertilizer. Amazingly, I actually think that there was just about enough soil. I could do with a little bit more in the pot, but it's not terrible. The plant is nice and secure. Now, the other problem is trying to find an outer pot for this that fits, because I either have too big or too small. And it might have to be in this one, which is way too big in the meantime, until I buy some more outer pots, because I think the spare ones I have are mostly just too small, and this one is way too big. Maybe I can switch one of the adult spider plants and have that pot in this one and have this one in the smaller one. Yeah, I think that works a little bit better. This was the one in the black pot, which is slumping. I hope to God that this plant is going to be okay, but it might not be. Try and just build up the soil in the middle. Okay, that one seems happier in that black pot. I was going to do some pruning of some other plants. I managed to knock off a branch of my Tradescantia zebrina, so I'll have to propagate that to try and save it. And then I just wanted to show off some things that I bought recently. I got these pepper seeds a couple of days ago. Now I am actually growing some peppers at the moment. They're just sprouting. With some seeds that I just took from the kitchen at work, some peppers that were thrown away. But I found these. These are purple peppers and white peppers, and I've never seen those before. And I like coloured vegetables, so I'm going to try those. But there are only 4 seeds in this one and 7 seeds in this one. So I'll give those a go and see how it goes. And also at the same time, I really needed a pair of secateurs. And I found a pink pair of secateurs. I absolutely love them. I needed to get a pair anyway. When I went into the florist across the road, I found a purple pair, which I picked up. And then I saw these ones, which are pink and came without any packaging. So it was even better. The purple ones were in like a plastic and cardboard package. So I'm really happy with those. So that's it for today. We have repotted 4 plants and planted 4 lots of seeds, and I'll see how those grow. Hopefully they're okay in that bad soil. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if you'd like to see more of this, because I would like to film more of these houseplant videos and gardening videos on this channel. Now I know that I am not using good techniques or perfect techniques. This is the way that I do it. I'm not necessarily recommending it to anyone else. And obviously my plants have not been doing well because of the lighting in my apartment. So yeah, I don't have the healthiest plants. And also again, if you know what this plant is, please let me know because I am desperate to know what this is. So that's it for today. Have a lovely day. Happy Easter if this video goes up before then. Today is Good Friday. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!